Hey guys, Jim here from VillageLocal. On my way home from work, getting a little bit of exercise in, and I thought I would create this little video entry. What prompted me to do this is I took a call earlier today from a lady, lovely lady, who was getting some support, been getting some support for a couple of years, home care support that is, and we got chatting. She's very experienced in managing her home care package and navigating the aged care sector. And she said to me, Jim, one of the things that she sees a lot of amongst her circle of friends, the ladies that she hangs out with on a regular basis, is many of them are put off by having to navigate the aged care sector, having to figure out how it all works, how the system works in order to access the support that they need. So because they find it so difficult, they just put it off. They put it off and they put it off, and then what ultimately happens is when things get really, really bad, you're dealing with problems with what I call crisis mode. And that is no time to be dealing with the complexities of navigating the aged care sector, government bureaucracy and red tape when you need to make fast, quick decisions that relate to your health and your well-being. Very important matters when it comes to staying safe and well and independent in your own home. So I wanted to run through a few very, very important, highly valuable pieces of information that you can essentially arm yourself with. If you're somebody who's has thought about getting organised with support services, started the process, realised that it's difficult to get registered and get approved. If you're somebody that's already getting some support services in place and it's not enough and you need more, but you don't know how to organise that additional support, or you don't know if there's even additional support available, the information I'm going to give you over the next few minutes is going to be absolute gold for you. So pay attention, maybe take some notes, share it with your friends, and you'll be in a much better place. So here goes. So first of all, I'm going to start off from the perspective of somebody who is maybe suffering in silence, doing a little bit tough to maintain their independence when it comes to maintaining the home, keeping the home tidy, maintaining the lawns, and needs a bit of a helping hand, maybe relying on a friend or family member to give them a hand every so often. So for those particular people, if you're one of those people, what you want to know is My Aged Care, who's the government department. My Aged Care is your port of call, is your gateway to organising the support that you might need around the home. Now, currently, and I say the word currently because it's probably going to change in the short to medium term, but currently the Australian aged care system, it's broken up into two worlds, okay? There's this first world called the Commonwealth Home Support Program, and you'll often hear of it abbreviated to CHSP, okay? Commonwealth Home Support Program. Then there's this other world called the home care packages. I live in Marrickville in Sydney, and you can hear the plane going over, so I'm just going to pause for a second. Let that go. Right. So there's the Commonwealth Home Support Program, and then there is the home care package system. Alright? These two worlds, they're different funding mechanisms that the government uses to get you the support that you need. Alright? Let me break that down a little bit further. The Commonwealth Home Support Program, so CHSP. Who that's for is for people who just need some entry-level services. Okay? Entry-level services. So those entry-level services, that's pretty much, some light domestic assistance, maybe an hour to an hour and a half a fortnight. Somebody will come into your home, give your home a very light once over, maybe sweep and mop the floors, tidy up the bathroom, very entry level. When I say entry level, let me give you an example of what it might look like. You might get somebody to come in and do some vacuuming around the home. They won't be moving coffee tables out of the way, vacuuming underneath the lounge, or moving the lounge out of the way to get the dust in the corner. That's not what they'll do. What they'll be doing is going around things, giving things a very light once over, okay? They certainly won't be getting on ladders to clean windows and dust the tops of cupboards. That's not what the CHSP system is about. It's entry-level service. On CHSP, and the other thing is you typically pay for it, right? So it's heavily subsidised. So you might pay $10, $15, maybe $20 for the visit, okay? You can also get, in addition to in-home, what they call domestic assistance, you can also get some help with getting the lawn cut. So again, it's heavily subsidised. Typical quarter-acre block, front yard, backyard. If you called a professional mowing company, that might cost you $70, $80. I don't know how much they charge these days. But under the CHSP scheme, a lot of people are getting access to that lawn mowing service for about, again, anywhere between $50 and maybe even $30, right? So it's heavily subsidised. So that's the CHSP system. Transportation's another one you can get on CHSP, so like access to a community bus for local transportation. So that's the CHSP system. To get access to that, here's what you need to do. It's very simple. You call My Aged Care on 1-800-200-422. You call them up. Just pause there. What I want you to do before you call them is this. I'm going to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to divide that piece of paper into two columns. The left-hand column, I want you to write down any health challenge that you're currently living with, things you're taking medication for. So left-hand column, health challenges, all right? It might be arthritis, diabetes, a heart condition, an eye condition, whatever it is, write it down. On the right-hand side of the column, what I want you to write down is any day-to-day activity, task, that isn't as easy as it used to be. Okay, so some examples of that would be vacuuming the floor. The arthritis is making vacuuming the floor more difficult. That would be your first point. Second point, my eye condition prevents me from driving. Right? Third point, my diabetes with my diabetes I have to have a good diet. As I live by myself, cooking healthy hot meals is becoming challenging. Okay, so you can see the day-to-day tasks I'm listing down on the right-hand side. Now that you've got that piece of paper, you've done your homework, you're prepared, that exercise shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, okay? At that stage, call My Aged Care. Now remember, you're calling a government department, okay? Government department, you're going to be speaking to somebody in a call centre. From my experience, most of the time I've been speaking to people who when I've been calling on behalf of people, older people who need support, I've been speaking to somebody who's really helpful, who really knows their stuff and can help you navigate. But there has been the odd occasion where I've spoken to somebody who it has not been a good experience, okay? It's rare, but it happens. And when it happens, the person that misses out is the person that's built up the courage to call and ask for help in the first place, and they get disgruntled by the whole experience. So just prepare yourself. I'd like to organise an assessment to get myself access to the support I need. And they will say things like, yep, tell us about your situation, what do you find difficult, what are your challenges? And then you're just reading off your piece of paper. You're prepared, you're composed, and you can speak clearly about your situation. Okay, and you're not going to forget anything to mention anything on the call because you've pre-prepared, right? From that, the person you speak to at My Aged Care, they will book you in for an assessment. An assessment by a person who's authorised to complete a report and decide on what level of support you will be approved for. okay? That assessment will take place in the coming week, so you'll get a call back over the next few days, a few weeks to book you in for that assessment. The assessment will take place. It'll essentially be a more thorough conversation that just took the one that took place over the phone. It might be in your home, the assessment, or it might be another over the phone call assessment. But one of those scenarios will happen. And then from there, you will get a letter from My Aged Care advising you on what you've been approved for. You'll get some codes in that letter, and then you can use those codes. You can take those codes to any number of relevant home care providers in your area to start receiving those services, okay? The way I've described it is pretty simple, right? A lot of people fall through the cracks of that process because they may not have gotten the guidance on what sort of support's available. They may not be getting their call back for the assessment. They may have missed the call back and didn't follow up. So there's a lot of places along that journey you can fall through the cracks. That being the case, I've told you the full process. So if any of those stages take longer than what you think appropriate, call the 1-800 number again, okay? Call them up, understand where you're up to in the system so that you can follow up and make sure you get support you need. So that is Commonwealth Home Support Program. Potentially you could get approved for the next level up if your support needs are more than 1.5 hours a fortnight. And if that being the case, you will then go into the bracket of the home care package system. Now let me tell you about the home care package system. Okay, so there are 4 levels of home care packages. Okay, 4 levels. Level 1 home care package, level 2, level 3, and level 4. The difference between the 4 levels of home care packages is the amount of money that the government will give you every year to help you stay safe and well in your own home. Just going to go down this way. So that's the only difference, right? The amount of money that the government will give you. You've got to remember that the government wants you to stay in your own home. The government does not want you going into a nursing home. The government certainly doesn't want you going into hospital, because if you end up in these 2 places, it costs the government a lot of money. And it's a lot more cost effective to keep somebody safe and well and healthy by giving them a little bit of additional funding on top of their pension, or if they're a partially funded retiree, it is means tested all this. It's cheaper to give somebody that level of funding so that they can stay safe out of a nursing home, out of a hospital, in their own home. So let me tell you about what those funding levels are. Somebody that gets approved for a level 1 home care package. So as a comparison, they might need 2 to 3 hours of support a week, okay? So somebody to do a little bit of domestic assistance, maybe run a few errands with some shopping or a doctor's appointment or something like that, 2 to 3 hours a week. On average, it's more like 2 hours a week, but it's every week. That person's gonna get $9,000 per year, every single year, okay? This is on top of their pension. That money will be paid into a special trust fund, and the person who's been approved for that money or awarded that money, they can use that money on products and services to help them maintain their independence. Some examples of services, obviously the common ones are a caregiver coming to the home to do some cooking or cleaning, a gardener coming to the home to maintain the gardens, a tradesperson coming to the home to do some home maintenance, maybe install some railings, fix some guttering, plumbing, electrical work. All right. So these are the types of services that you can employ. You can put it towards taxis, transportation, all those sort of things. Some of the products. A lot of people aren't aware they can spend their home care package funding on products as well. Some of the common products that many people on home care packages use it for is things like mobility aids. So walkers, wheelchairs, recliner beds or hydraulic beds, lifter chairs. Really it comes down to what your healthcare needs are, what your clinical challenges are, and everything, any product that you spend on, it has to be justified, right? So that's where it comes into the job of the home care provider, or somebody who's governing or managing your home care package, it's ultimately them, that organisation, who's overseeing how the funding is being managed, that makes the call on what they are willing to allow you to spend that funding on. Let me go into that a little bit further, because I don't want to cause confusion in the community as well. So, as I mentioned, that home care package, it's going to be paid into a special trust fund, right? The government is not going to put that money directly into your bank account. The government doesn't want that money being spent on things like holidays and poker machines and things like that. They want to make sure that there's governance around how it's being spent. So to ensure that that's the case, what the government's done is they've approved a number of home care providers across the country, and there are many. I think there's over 1,000 home care providers across the country now, approved, registered, government-registered home care providers across the country, that you can call up and say, hey, I've got a home care package, can you manage it for me? And they will govern the way that that package is being administered to you. Okay? So that will be that organisation that will send you a monthly statement to let you know how much money is being put into your trust fund that month, how much you spend on services and products, how much money is left over, how much their organisation is charging in administration fees or service fees for any of the services that you may be purchasing from them. Okay, and that's another key point. If you choose a home care provider, you don't necessarily need to take their services. You can get another organisation's services and have your current provider who's managing it purchase those services on your behalf. They may charge you an administration fee to do that, but it can be done. And that's really, really important to know for those consumers who want to really have total ownership or control over who comes in and out of their home, what services and tradespeople and individuals they choose to employ to deliver those services. Okay? So, level 1 home care package, $9,000. Level 2 home care package, that'll provide somebody with a bit over $15,000 per year. And all this funding is being put into this trust fund on a monthly basis. Okay? And that's why you should be getting a statement from the provider on a monthly basis as well. So level 2, a bit over $15,000. Level 3 home care package, I think now, it's always changing, but I think now it's a bit over $33,000, might be $34,000, something like that. A level 4 home care package is a bit over $52,000, might be a little bit more than that. But as you can see, there's some significant funding here. And again, this funding is to help those in the community, those over the age of 65 that is, continue living in their own homes and out of a nursing home and out of hospital for as long as possible. Okay? Now, I mentioned level 1s probably get you about 2 hours on average of support a week. A level 2 home care package, on average, and again, these are round numbers, it really depends on the home care agency and the fees that they're going to charge you. But on average, a level 2 home care package, people are typically getting between 3 to 5, maybe 6 hours a week of support, just depending on what kind of support they're getting. Level 3 home care packages, I'm sort of seeing it around the 6 to 10 hour mark, again depending on what services. And a level 4 home care package, I'm typically seeing anywhere between 10 to 16 hours a week of support that a home care organisation will provide you with. Right? Level 1s and level 2s are the most common packages that get awarded to people, for those who get a home care package anyway. Level 3s and level 4s, they're really for people who have multiple chronic illnesses, really need the higher levels of support to continue living independently in their own home. How do you get a home care package? Well, again, it's the same process as you would if you were trying to organise the entry-level support services, the Commonwealth Home Support Program. And that is, you call My Aged Care, 1-800-200-422. You get on the phone, tell them your name, tell them the challenges you're having, pull out that piece of paper that you're going to pre-prepare before you call My Aged Care. If you feel you're needing a home care package or a home care package would be more appropriate for you, let them know on the call that, hey, I've heard about the Commonwealth Home Support Program. And I know that will give me about an hour to an hour and a half a fortnight, but I'm really needing more help than that. Tell them on the phone. And tell them, don't be afraid to say, I think a home care package would be more appropriate for me, considering my care needs. The reason why I say tell them on the phone is because what we've come to realise is that there are two types of assessors that are awarding the various levels of support. There is the RAS, Regional Assessment Team Assessors, and then there's the ACAT team, Aged Care Assessment Team. What we've come to see is the RAS assessment team, they're the ones that are approving the Commonwealth Home Support Program. Okay, they're the ones that are approving the very entry-level support. And for those who require a home care package, that's going to the ACAT, the Aged Care Assessment Team. They're the ones that are approving the home care packages. Now, guys, anybody listening in on this, all I'm explaining is what we're seeing at VillageLocal consistently. There may be some exceptions to what I'm saying, but all in all, as a whole, across the country, so in all corners of the country, this is what we're seeing. Okay? So don't be writing me messages or pointing out where I'm right or wrong. This is all in good spirit to help those who are suffering in silence and have found it all quite difficult to navigate. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of this breakdown. Now, what to do if you still feel stuck, still don't know what to do, don't feel confident enough to call up My Aged Care. Got a couple of options there as well. So first of all, you can call us at VillageLocal. We'll be happy to help you navigate the system. Our number is 1300 87 43 42. In the interest of providing people with options, there is another wonderful organisation out there called OPAN, Older Persons Advocacy Network. Off the top of my head, I don't know the phone number, but somewhere around this page or wherever you look in this video, I'm going to add the link to their website and their phone number as well. They are a government-funded organisation and provide a lot of great support for the community, so you can give them a call as well. But the takeaway message I want you to please remember is there are many people, many organisations, many people in the aged care industry that are willing to help people navigate their way through the complex aged care system. If you've had a bad experience in the past, or if friends have had a bad experience in the past, and that's turning you off from continually pushing forward to get the help that you need, please persevere. It's certainly worth it in the end to get the help that you need. It's absolutely life-changing. I literally get emails every single day and have been getting those emails every single day for years from people all across the country, thanking myself, thanking my team, thanking the VillageLocal organisation for providing guidance and advice and just assistance in navigating the aged care system. And the common thread that I get is life's so much better than what it was. So it is worth it, guys. Please persevere and don't suffer in silence. Reach out. Hope you found that useful. Take care. Bye.